right, this is Base to Your Face, and today we are discussing Recast T'challa, but with a twist.
Yes.
The twist today is who would be the best to replace the late great Chadwick Boseman for this role. A lot of people say recast T'Challa, but who? Who's the black pool of actors? So what we have is a top 10 list, and we're gonna go from 10 all the way to 1.
And we believe this is the best list for the Black Panther recast on the internet.
Oh, absolutely, though.
We have dug through so much films, so much short films, and just content, and we definitely have the best list because it's not the obvious choices. But let's get right into it. For number 10, we have Broderick Hunter. He's been seen in the show Insecure on HBO. Also, he's been in a whole bunch of commercials. In terms of look and screen presence, he's definitely a top candidate. We just believe on the acting level, he may not be up to par, but sometimes we just need a chance, and we just feel just by screen presence alone and look for Black Panther, he can definitely pull it off.
Now, the reason why he's number 10 on this list, we feel like, for the record, I want to say that we feel like this top 10 list could be each of them could be number 1.
It's the truth, yes.
Because that's how we're that confident in this list.
Yes.
The reason why he's number 10 is because he hasn't gotten the opportunities. So, it's just not a whole bunch of work out that we could really make judgments on.
That's true.
But absolutely, compared to a lot of the other lists that we've seen, Broderick Hunter would be number 1.
And he has been in some short films.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's no content out there of him not acting.
And when I saw him on Insecure, the part that he did on there was good. And what he's been in, I feel like he's capitalizing. He hasn't given a bad performance. But we are going to move on to number 9, John David Washington. People at first knew him as the son of the legendary Denzel Washington, Training Day and everything like that. However, recently I noticed that he's made a name for himself that is pretty formidable on its own.
Yes.
So John David has done Tenet. He's also done Black Klansman. He's also done Malcolm and Mary, where in each of those films he played completely different characters.
There's another film where he played a police officer. I can't quite get the name, but I did see parts of it, and his performance was amazing.
His performance was great in that, and he plays different characters in every movie. When you talk about Tenet or Black Klansman, I feel like he's perfect for this list because he's worked with 2 of some of the most legendary directors in history.
But obviously, there's a reason why we have him at number 9, and we feel physically that we're not too sure if he will be able to. What's the right term, Damien?
Well, to handle those action scenes like the choreography and the fighting for Black Panther, we do feel like it would be a lot. He might leave a lot on the table. However, what I will say is this though, he's an ex-football player.
He is.
I've actually seen he's actually practiced with some professionals before. He can get his body in shape if he takes it seriously, which I feel like. He's a professional. I think that on this list, he's probably a top 3 actor in terms of probably 1.
He's the best actor. Number 8 would be Damson Idris. As you guys all know, he's from the show Snowfall. I believe the show's on its 5th season. He was also in the show on Netflix. I forgot the name of the movie, but most people know him of Snowfall. Definitely, he has a bright future that's ahead of him. Damson is showing that not only can he act, but he also has a screen presence, and he's also fun to watch because of the type of emotion that he brings to the screen. Something that Black Panther really needs, because it's not only about the look. You need somebody to bring the emotion, to bring that, yes, I am the king of Wakanda, and I'm going through these things, and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to meet the challenge and succeed. And I feel like he could kind of bring that, especially how he's led the show of Snowfall. And most of the time, that show rests on his shoulders and his ability to bring that performance.
Absolutely. Now let me get through this list.
yeah. Cool.
I gotta get us through every fucking thing out. But this nigga, he's very good. I enjoy Snowfall. To be honest, Damson Idris, when we first started doing this list, we actually had Damson Idris way higher.
Yes, we did.
But we went and we found so many other people. And it was like, this is a list of number ones. Once again, this is a list of number ones. So, Damson Idris is great. So now I'm going to get into somebody named, this is number 7. No, this is number 7. So number 7 on the list is Caleb Castile. He is known for Wu-Tang, and he has been new on the show called NCIS.
Yes.
Caleb Castile, I feel, has a great look, not really too known, because this list is not about just the known guys.
No.
All right, like Damson Idris and John David Washington are super well known.
And they're the most known on this list, except for one other person. But the rest of these guys, and why we're proud of this list, is that this list is showing you more than the black actors that's put in your face. There's a lot of bright talent of black acting in the industry, and we want to show that, you know, there's a lot out here.
So number 7 is Caleb Castile. We feel like he could definitely get into shape for the role, just genetically. His father was in the NFL.
Yes.
I believe he had 2 brothers that also played NFL. And he played a football player in a couple of his movies. He's also young. Yeah. At the age of 31, he can play the part for a long time.
Yes.
So, Caleb Castile. Now we're going to let Akin get into number 6.
So, number 6 will be Aldis Hodge. You've seen him in films such as The Invisible Man, and he's set to also play Hawkman in DC. Physically wise and acting wise, we feel like he's a top tier choice. We just don't feel like this is the best part for him. But if you had to pick somebody, I think that he would be great to take up the mantle of continuing the part of Chadwick Boseman. Now, any of these actors can easily continue the part, but we feel like he would be the best fit to actually step in and, all right, this is the new Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? But basically, age-wise, acting-wise, presence-wise, we feel like he's a great choice.
Yo, Aldis Hodge, once again, it goes back into that whole number 1 thing. Anybody on here could be number 1.
Anybody.
Aldis Hodge would be great. I watched Invisible Man. He was good in that. He was also in, I think, A Night in Miami.
Yes.
Where he played... Did he play Jim Brown?
I think he did.
I think he played Jim Brown.
I think he did play Jim Brown.
And I think, he was with Ali and Malcolm X and all of them.
Yes.
Somebody was obviously playing them with those guys. He did a pretty good acting job in that one. So now I want to get into number 5, Jamad Mays from Power Book 2. So Jamad Mays, once again, this just gets into it. Pretty good actor. He's in Power Book 2. Young black actor. People wouldn't really know about a lot of these actors, but we went and we searched countless black shows, countless black movies to find this list. We think that Jamad Mays has the look. He can get, it seems like he could get into shape for the role. And he seems like he could play the role for 20 years if need be. Because, if you remember Hugh Jackman, when he played Wolverine, he played that shit for like 15 years.
15 years and did a damn good job. So a lot of these guys on here could jump into that role and play it for. But plus, black don't crack. Yes. So
they could play it for a very long time. I'm going to let Akin get into number 4.
Number 4 is probably my second favorite, Curtis Cook Jr. Number 1, he slightly looks like Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
Number 2, he was on the show The Woo. And number 3, screen presence-wise, look-wise, he can not only play Black Panther, and this is just a segue, I feel like he could also pick up the mantle of playing Blade. So Curtis Cook Jr., the only flaw, and I don't even want to use flaw, is his voice. Can he bring his pitch down to play characters such as Black Panther or Blade? Which I feel like voice acting, if you practice it, then you can do it. But Curtis Cook Jr., I know that he could definitely pull this off. And of this whole list, I feel like he can make Black Panther very relatable. He could bring a comical sense to the seriousness of Black Panther. And he's really going to make the character fun of anybody on this list. Curtis Cook Jr.
Yo, yeah, I can't pay. He like his agent or something. Ladies and gentlemen, Curtis Cook Jr. But Curtis Cook, once again, like I said, kind of looks like Chadwick. I don't want to just repeat everything that Ackman already said because he pretty much already covered all of that. But I did want to comment on the voice.
Yes.
I think that voice acting is very important.
Yes.
And he's such a good actor. He's like one of the young great actors on this list.
Yes, he is.
Because he has range. He's played multiple parts and he's played multiple different types of characters. I remember Heath Ledger, when he first got casted as Joker, a lot of people weren't sure.
I remember.
You know what I'm saying? And people didn't like the look of Joker. And then Heath Ledger did the voice of Joker. And that ain't sound like Heath Ledger.
It didn't sound like him.
He sounded like a completely different guy. So, come on, these guys get with a couple voice acting professionals and shit. Because, listen, movies is about a team. It's about who are you going to... What team are you going to put around your actor to make sure that they do the best performance?
And Curtis Cook Jr. also comes from an acting family. His father,
Curtis
Cook Sr., is an actor in The Chi. He also gives great performances as well. So, the acting, I know that he's going to bring it.
Absolutely. So, let's get into number 3. Abubakar Salim.
Yes.
He's currently in Raised by Wolves on HBO Max. So that means he's pretty much worked with another well-known director in Ridley Scott. To be honest, this guy right here, it was very hard for him not to get number 1. Because he has the voice, he has the look, he has the acting capability, he has the height. Like, I mean, this dude, I feel, could also play James Bond.
Which I feel is a better part for him. James Bond, because he's from the UK, he has that voice. I feel like if they was going to pick a black James Bond, he would be the perfect candidate.
He would be, I mean, we're going to put everyone's Instagrams and everybody, you know, where you can find everybody. If you just look up, you know, Abubakar Salim, you'll know, like, nah, this dude is legit. And he also spoke for Assassin's Creed for all my video game folks out there. Okay, so
I actually want to talk back on Abubakar.
Right.
Just really quick. Abubakar has the best voice in this whole lineup.
Easy.
And as we know, when it comes to voices, like the voice of Thanos, the voice of Joker, voices do matter in movies. And just his cadence, the way he goes about speaking, I feel like he's going to bring that kind of Mufasa aura to being the king of Wakanda. I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny with Lion King and Wakanda, but that voice matters, and he definitely has the best voice. Now, physically, Abubakar, I'm not sure if he could bring it, because with a film like Black Panther, the acting is important, but he's such a savage, and he's so skilled physically and genetically, where you need an actor that could also put that on screen.
Now, once again, I would say this when it comes to getting in shape for movies. We've seen guys that were able to get into shape for movies. So we've seen guys that did complete body transformations. I don't know the name of the guy who played in Eternals. Eternals sucked, by the way, but I don't know the name of the guy who did Eternals. The Middle Eastern Indian looking guy. Yeah. He had got into crazy shape for that movie.
He did, but was he in combat, like fighting and stuff like that?
No, he wasn't in combat. But that's another. We'll kind of get into that issue of choreography. Now, that's not a topic necessarily for this video, but if I could touch on it a little bit, just a little tiny bit, choreography in a lot of movies gotta get just better.
Just better, Joe.
You know, so choreography is gonna go beyond even, you know, what the actor is bringing. So I want to get into
the number two, which is Victor Ocean. Now, Victor Ocean to me has the rawest talent. He's a very young actor. He's very tall. He's big. He's strong. I feel like for the physicality of Black Panther, right, and your ability to extend the franchise for years and years and years, and Victor Ocean in terms of look, cadence, the way he speaks, the tone of his voice, I think he's a great all-around person to be picked for the Black Panther role.
I agree. I can pretty much touch on everything with Victor Ocean. I've seen his look, seen his face. His acting is on point as well.
Yes.
He's actually in a UK-based show called I May Destroy You.
Yes.
Obviously, that's a show that commands deep acting and deep roles.
Yes.
So, I definitely like the Victor O'Shin pick. We're going to get into the number one pick.
Which is everybody's number one pick.
The number one draft pick, Trevante Rhodes.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevante got the acting.
Yeah.
He got the look. He has the experience with movies like Moonlight and Bird Box. He was also in the United States versus Billie Holiday. I mean, he's played different roles. He's young, early 30s guy that could play the role for 15 plus years if need be. I mean, Trevante Rhodes is somebody that I feel like they should have picked him over Chadwick Boseman in the first place.
Yes.
And that might take some people aback. But the only person who I felt could have done it besides Chadwick before I even put this list together was Trevante Rhodes. To be honest, even with the physical stuff, like, you know, because acting, a lot of times, you know, we grew up watching movies where there was choreography, like, you know, kung fu movies. Or
lots of kung fu films, whether it's The Matrix, whether it's Blade, Conan the Barbarian, Jet Li films, you know, when you could bring the fighting, the choreography, it really expands the character. It takes the story to new heights. And somebody like Trevante, with his background in track, if he was to get into the choreography, it's going to look very real.
Absolutely.
I have some issues with films where they pick somebody who's very unathletic, and now they put them in this choreography, and it doesn't look authentic.
Now, when we talk about, and this is not us trying to say anything, but Chadwick Boseman played a great part. Played a great part. Now, in Black Panther, the actual movie, we always felt like the choreography with the fighting, it left a lot more to be desired.
But it's not Chadwick's fault.
It's not.
That's a direction. And, you know, me and Dina, we also liked Captain America 2, which we felt like the choreography was crazy. Like
the fighting that they had. And come on, if Chris Evans ain't no black belt or nothing like that.
He's not.
But they be having Chris Evans fight like...
But Chris Evans, though, is physically there. Like, they make sure that they built his body so the parts look official.
Of course.
And this is why we also kind of made that list on who could bring the part physically.
Right. And, you know, long story short, this dude, Trevante Rhodes, it seems like he could absolutely do the choreography. Now, I want you guys to also comment who you guys feel.
Please comment.
Maybe we missed somebody. But just to run through that list one more time. At number 10, we have Broderick Hunter. At number 9, we have John David Washington. At number 7, Damson Idris. At number 6, Caleb Castile. At number 5, Aldous Hodge. At number 4, Jamad Mays. At number 4, Curtis Cook Jr. At number 3, Abubakar Salim. At number 2, Victor O'Shin. And at number 1, Trevante Rhodes.
And now, I also want to make this comment. If they had to pick somebody now, right now, Trevante Rhodes would be the best. But if they want to reboot the series, I would love to see an origin story of Black Panther. And this is why somebody like Curtis Cook Jr. or Victor O'Shin would be great options. Even Jamad Mays, where you can have a story where they first put on the crown of being Black Panther, and now they go and doing their first quests and their first journeys and stuff like that. Those guys would be great options. But right now, Trevante Rhodes is ready to lead the franchise. My second point is we have so much good black actors that could play these parts. It's obvious that Disney has had no intent of remaking this film. But I do believe because it did make $1 billion, one day they may have to go back and say, you know what, let's try to get this money. Even if we have no interest in pushing this story, there's money here.
Well, yeah, of course, because you got a movie like Eternals, flopped. You got a movie like Black Widow, flopped. They know. Why do you think that they keep on remaking Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman? Because they know we put Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman out there, we going to make $1 billion.
Yes.
Off each movie. You understand what I'm saying? Marvel only has so many heavy hitters. 2 of those guys that I just now named was from DC.
Yes.
Batman and Superman. So Marvel, one of their heavy hitters now, whether they like it or not, is Black Panther.
That's true.
That's the highest grossing Marvel movie, which is, one superhero. That it's the highest grossing one. Obviously, you got this new Spider-Man movie that came out. That one made over $1 billion as well. I don't really count that though, because they bought 2 other Spider-Men from other movies.
Yes.
But before that, Black Panther was the highest grossing single superhero movie with Marvel.
And to have no talks of a 3-picture deal, like if I'm in the studio and Black Panther made $1 billion, why am I going to kill his character and now pass the mantle to Shuri? And Adenian knows more about the comics on, she became Black Panther, but at the time, T'Challa was still alive.
He was still alive. And also, too, she had gave the mantle up, like, after, like, a couple issues. Like, and by issues, I mean a couple comics. She had it on for a couple comics, and then, that was it. But we're definitely going to be getting more into this Black Panther stuff.
Yes.
A lot of those issues
We're going to do that for the next video.
We'll do that for the next video.
And we don't really know, too, if Disney is really going to pay attention to all these recasts T'Challa. But definitely we want to make it aware to the public that there are so much black actors that are more than qualified to pick up the mantle of Black Panther. Chadwick Boseman himself wanted T'Challa to be recasted. And killing off Black Panther is like killing off Batman or Bond and then having Alfred or Agent M pick up the mantle. You don't do things like that.
Okay, I actually do want to say one more thing. Like Akin just now said, we don't know if Disney is going to recast Black Panther. We don't know if they are. But there are other black superheroes that could be recast.
And other black stories, there's sci-fi films, all these guys that we named, a lot of the public don't know who these guys is. Like, when I hear casts for Black Panther, and this is all respect to these brothers, I hear names like Morris Chestnut and Tay Diggs and shit like that. But what I'm saying that those guys are good too, but we got a pool of young actors who don't get the amount of opportunities that they should get, and they're very talented.
Who said Tay Diggs should play Black Panther?
Yo, I've seen a whole bunch of this. Like, anything that pertains to somebody black, they just go towards, all right, this guy been in the game for 10, 20 years, but it's a generic pick. Though me and my brother are great fans of, like, Denzel and Will, we realize that they've got some parts too that should have been given to some other guys. Is that they're overused, and they're the only black actors, even in their old age, that Hollywood chooses to pay attention to.
Right. I wanna say some movies that guys could play in if they don't get the Black Panther one.
Yes.
We could do a Spawn remake.
A Spawn remake, yes.
We could do Media Man.
Yes.
We can do Blade.
Yes, we can do Blade. Curtis Cook Jr. for Blade will be good, and Jamar Mays for Blade will also be good.
Now we know that Mahershala Ali was already cast for Blade,
but we don't believe that movie is even going to be made.
Yeah, so before you guys start commenting, yo, they already got Mahershala Ali. We know that, but they announced it years ago. They haven't even started production. They put him at the end of Eternals, and you could tell he wasn't even on set. They just kind of had his voice. Yes. They be dragging their feet with these black movies. By the time they make Blade with Mahershala Ali, he's gonna be Morgan Freeman and shit like that. He's not even old now. But I'm saying that by the time they start getting that movie rolling, man, like, is he even gonna be playing Blade? You know what I'm saying? He you know what? He could play Whistler. By the time they start making it, because they haven't even tried to start shooting it yet.
And physically, we're just not sure that he can pull it off. Like, people forget that the movie was good because Wesley Snipes knew martial arts, and this is what really shines light on the way they did films. Like, you and the director had to bring a practical value to the film before the special effects.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to films nowadays, it's all right. We can just pick any old personality we want because of their popularity, and now we're gonna mask all the setbacks of what we have with special effects, which is not good.
Absolutely. Well, this was Base to Your Face. Once again, like, comment, and subscribe, and tell us who you think would be the best pick to recast T'Challa. I'm a Didion Essien.
And I'm a Kenny Essien, and until next time.